Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really crucial choice in finance. Are you an investor or are you a trader? While they both want to build wealth, the paths they take, and honestly, the mindset they require, they're just worlds apart. So let's break it all down.
Think about it like this. Are you a sprinter? Someone who's aiming for these quick, powerful bursts of speed and wants results like right now? Or are you a marathon runner, totally focused on endurance for that long journey ahead? And this isn't just a clever metaphor. How you answer this question could pretty much define your entire financial strategy.
Right, so the destination, we're talking financial growth, is the same, but the two paths to get there, they could not be more different when it comes to strategy, mindset, and of course, risk. Let's start by jumping into the fast lane, the high-speed world of the financial sprint. This brings us to the world of the trader. Honestly, you should think of it like a high-stakes sport. It's all about speed, it's about agility, and it's about capitalizing on the market's tiniest, most immediate movements. This is a very active, very hands-on approach that demands your constant focus. So, what is trading really? Well, it's the frequent buying and selling of assets. Things like stocks or currencies, to profit from those daily or sometimes even hourly price swings. Traders aren't looking to hold on for the long haul. They want to get in, make a profit, and get out, fast.
And here's a look inside the trader's toolkit. The time horizon? It's incredibly short. We're talking minutes, days, maybe a few months at most. The strategy is just constant activity. And the focus, it isn't on a company's long-term health, but on technical charts and those fleeting market trends. And, no surprise, all that high-speed action comes with a much, much higher level of risk.
Okay, so let's completely shift gears and look at a different approach. If trading is the sprint, then investing, well, that's the marathon. It's a long, steady race where patience is absolutely the ultimate virtue.
Investing is all about buying quality assets, like a piece of a truly great company, and just holding on. The whole belief is that their value will grow over years, maybe even decades. The goal isn't some quick payday. It's more like planting a tree and patiently watching it grow into a real source of long-term wealth. And the contrast with trading is just stark. The investor's playbook is all about the long game. The strategy is often as simple as buy and hold. The focus shifts to the fundamental value of an asset, its earnings, its leadership, its place in the market. And this patient, long-term perspective is exactly why investing generally carries lower risk. So when you actually see them side by side, the difference is just crystal clear. A trader tries to time the market, constantly jumping in and out for those quick profits. An investor, on the other hand, focuses on time in the market, letting their assets grow steadily over the long haul. It's a completely fundamental difference in philosophy.
Okay, but before you decide to lace up your sprinting shoes, we really need to talk about the dangers. It is so crucial to understand the very real risks on this path, because that potential for high rewards, it comes with an equally high chance of some pretty significant loss.
The first major risk is market volatility. That very thing that creates opportunities for traders, those rapid price swings, is a total double-edged sword. It can lead to losses that are just as rapid and just as substantial if a trade goes against you.
Then there's maybe the biggest risk of them all. You, the human element. The fast-paced, high-stakes nature of trading is basically a perfect storm for emotional decisions. That fear of missing out, or that greed for just a little bit more profit, it can make you totally abandon your strategy and make some really costly mistakes.
And finally, you've got the costs. All of that frequent buying and selling comes with transaction fees and commissions. And trust me, these little costs add up incredibly quickly. They can eat away at your profits, sometimes even turning what looked like a winning trade into a losing one. So with all of this in mind, what do some of the most successful financial minds in history have to say about it? Well, it turns out their wisdom points in one very, very clear direction.
Let's start with Warren Buffett. He's arguably one of the greatest investors of all time. His whole philosophy isn't about finding a cheap stock. It's about finding a great business. He champions looking at the long-term, fundamental value of what you're buying.
In other words, Buffett's principle is to invest in value. Focus on companies with strong fundamentals, businesses with a real history of profitability and a competitive advantage that can last. That, he says, is where real, long-term wealth is actually created. Financial advisor Dave Ramsey totally echoes this sentiment. He powerfully warns against what he calls a fool's errand, trying to predict short-term market movements, which, let's be honest, is the very essence of trading. His principle is simple, but it is so profound. Real growth comes from time in the market,
not from timing the market. It's all about staying invested through the ups and the downs and allowing the incredible power of compounding to work its magic over the years.
So we have the trader's sprint and the investor's marathon. Now that these two paths are laid out so clearly, we can finally tackle that big question. How should you approach your financial future?
So what's the bottom line here? Look, for the vast majority of people, trading is a high-risk game. It's really best left to professionals who have deep expertise and, frankly, capital they can afford to lose. The investor's marathon, on the other hand, is a much more reliable and time-tested strategy for building a solid, long-term financial foundation.
But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Understanding this fundamental difference between speed and patience, between risk and strategy, that's what empowers you to make an informed decision, one that actually aligns with your goals, your comfort with risk, and the financial future you truly want to build. So, the journey is ahead of you. The question is, which path will you choose?